Hello and welcome to the off-season workout programme for Asphalt Green Soccer. I'm Craig Hutchinson, the Director of Coaching, and every week over the next few weeks we're going to be giving you a bunch of drills and activities we can be working on until pre-season begins. So to start off each activity we're going to do a little bit of juggling. Juggling's good for three things. Number one, you can do it by yourself. Number two, you don't need a whole lot of space for it. And number three, it's a great way of developing your balance, coordination and getting lots of touches on the ball. Obviously the level in which you juggle depends on your age and ability level. So if you're younger starting out, I'll allow you to cheat for week one and start with the ball in your hands and just focus on the thigh and the feet. All you can try and do is keep trying to beat your best score by one. So if your thigh, hey, maybe one, then we try and do 1, 2 and see if we can do 1, 2, 3, so on. Same thing with our feet, see if we can do 1, see if we can do 1, 2 and then keep building up so we can use our feet and our thighs together. If we're a little bit older and a little bit more advanced with that, let's make sure we're always starting with the ball at our feet and getting the ball in the air. We can start mixing other surfaces of the body as well, such as the chest, shoulders, heads, and so on. If you want, you can try and challenge yourself by seeing how many touches you can get in a certain period of time by doing a little bit of speed juggling, and so on. As we keep going in future weeks, we'll start adding extra little tricks and skills we can do with our juggling, but where possible, try and do it as often as you can, get as many touches in as you can. That can get us started before we go into the warm-up. Okay, so we've got a basic speed and agility setup for week one. I will just demonstrate each action once, but obviously when you guys are doing it, you can do each one several times. To begin with, we're just going to do 1 foot in each gap, and everything's going to finish with a sprint to the end. Obviously, soccer specific, we're constantly changing speed and direction, so I want to see that little burst of pace at the end. So the first one, just 1 foot in each gap, and then a sprint. Number two, we're going to do 2 feet in each gap, followed by the sprint. Number three, it's going to be 2 foot in each gap, but sideways on. Each time you do it, vary the side in which you face, so you're going in a different direction. One that we call glides, where we start 1 foot in, 1 foot out, we slide into the middle and out and take a step forward. You can see on the demonstration. So we start in, out, go in, out, step, nice and long. Next up, because obviously balance and balancing on one leg is very important in soccer, we're going to do hops. So we're going to hop on 1 foot throughout each one, sprint at the end. Obviously on your next turn, you go with the other leg. The final one we're going to do is going to be slalom jumps, whereby we jump from one side to the other side, transferring our balance from one leg to another. Very important in soccer. It's also a good exercise for female players because females typically suffer 4 to 6 times more knee injuries than men do because of the way they bend the knee when they land and put pressure on it. So it's very important that we keep our legs straight when we do it and we absorb the balance as we land. So now we're going to move on to some ball work. We're going to start out nice and basic for the younger age groups, and then we're going to show progressions we can use for the older and more experienced players. All we're going to be doing is various types of dribbling and mixing in lots of turns and moves as well. To begin with, it's got 2 cones about 10 yards apart. This is all I'm going to be working with. I'm going to dribble to the other side when I pass the cone. I'm going to execute a turn, dribble back and repeat. Very, very simple. You can mix in any turns that you want for this. Next time we're going to break down the feet that we use and the surfaces we use. So when I head in this direction, I'm going to use my right foot only. When I head in this direction, I'm going to use my left foot only. I'm also going to be moving the foot between the ball between the inside and outside of my feet, moving the ball in little zigzags. Basic principle is going to be the same again. I'm going to be moving the ball in zigzags. On the way there, I'm going to be touching the ball with the outside, then inside of my foot, then my next foot uses the outside inside. On the way back, it's going to be exactly the same, but instead of the inside touch, we're going to roll the ball across with the sole of the foot. The next one we're going to do is just going to be rolling the ball across our body using the sole of the foot. Using one foot on the way there, another foot on the way back. The final one of these is going to be a regular dribble. We're going to imagine there's a defender there in the middle, and I want you to practice a move to beat a defender. Once again, any moves that you like, any you're comfortable with, or any that you want to try out, this is the time to do it. So for our older age groups, if we want to add a little twist to that rather than just going back and forth in a linear motion, we've set up a kind of figure eight area over here. Basically the same things again. We can introduce the in-outs, all the foot skills, but this time we're going to be going around the cones towards the middle. In the middle is where we can execute the move and back around the other side. To begin with, we'll do it once just by using either foot, using the in-outs. So I will go one time around with the right foot, second time around I'll go with the left foot. So the final progression we've got to this is to finish off with a shot on goal. We've got our goal over here. We've got no goalies right now because I'm by myself, but obviously I'm going to be aiming for the relevant parts of the goal, striking across goal, aiming for the corners. We're going to start out with right foot, starting on this cone, around the area. On my second goal, I'm going to start with the opposite cone on my left foot, so I shoot from the opposite side. And once again, we can regress this if you're a younger player just starting out and the complexities of the figure eight's a bit too much. We just go back to being linear again. So I can just start on this cone, dribble forwards, beat the cone on the outside and then take my shot. Obviously when I go this side, going to the outside will give me the angle on the right foot. Starting on the other side will give me the angle with the left foot. So there were some of the drills and activities for week one. Obviously you can tailor those to your needs however you like. If there's things you want to add, or tailor it more to your needs and your skill set, by all means do so. If you can find the time and space to be able to do something like this 2 or 3 times a week, it's going to put us in good stead for the pre-season when that begins. Obviously, if you're not an old man with bad ankles like me, you can do it with a little bit more speed and intensity as well. We'll be back next week with more activities, so we'll see you then.